She was forced to leave her country. She had a near-death experience while escaping Taliban, but pop star Aryana with her music has continued to champion a cause close to her heart, which is Afghan women's rights in the war-torn country. In a candid conversation with WION, she opened up about her journey, Bollywood debut, and music in her unrelenting fight for women's rights in Afghanistan. So, a bit about your personal journey and activism. So, you've been a vocal advocate for women's rights in Afghanistan. Can you share your experience and challenges in fighting for this cause?
I was 8 years old when I left Afghanistan. I was raised in Europe. I already, when I was younger, obviously, I already was surrounded by these very powerful women around me. I have six sisters and my mom, and I never had a brother. So they were already kind of very influential in my life. But then in 2011, I made my first journey back to Afghanistan as an adult, as a singer. And so when I was there, that's when I really actually realized how unfairly women were being treated. They didn't have their rights, they didn't have their voice, they were living the worst possible lives you can imagine. And when I realized that, and I heard stories, and I met with women and everything, that kind of, triggered this part of me that was always there anyway. And I thought, you know what, I've been given this huge platform, this huge opportunity, this career, and with using this, I can actually make a difference in this society, which is in dire need. So I started my activism, activities, and I started singing for the rights of Afghan women. I have about 11, 12 songs that are specifically dedicated to the rights of Afghan women with empowering, very, very powerful lyrics. And besides that, I used to, work with organizations, raising awareness, doing interviews about women's rights. So it started from there and still going on. Right now, I have my own organization called DIFA. It stands for Defenders of Equality, Freedom, and Advancement for Afghan Women. And through this organization, we try to raise awareness. We try to solve some issues here and there, whatever that we can. I actually hear stories like directly from Afghan women from inside Afghanistan on a monthly basis. I speak to about 100 of them. And through this organization, we're trying to get the international community to put pressure on Taliban to let women to work and study and have a normal life.
So, how did you escape Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover, and what was going through your mind during that time?
When Taliban took over Afghanistan, obviously it came very unexpected. Like it completely shocked all of us. And I am still 4 years later in a shock and disbelief that something like that happened. And during the time they took over, I was in Afghanistan. I was working from there. And when the issue started, we did not, believe that actually Taliban would take over so easily, because of the fact that Afghan government, were a strong government. There was millions and billions of dollars spent in Afghanistan to make this strong, system for the government and everything. And it was very hard for us to believe that Taliban would actually just come and take over overnight so easily. And that's exactly what happened, which shocked all of us. And living in Afghanistan for me was a very horrible and horrifying experience, because I was a target of Taliban already. All these years that I was there, they were trying to, kill me if they got their hands on me. So I was living a life of a prisoner. I was not allowed to go to restaurants, to shops, anywhere. I was basically a prisoner in my own room. But I was still, there, and I was doing what I was doing. But then when they took over, obviously it got more dangerous for me. So I had to get out immediately. But unfortunately, I couldn't. And I got stuck for 2 days with the Taliban being there. And I was hiding in a place. And then 2 days later, luckily, we were rescued by a C-17 army, U.S. Army plane, and they took us out of there, me and my fiance, who's also my manager. So it was a
Okay.
horrifying experience. It's a long story, but I'm very, grateful to be here, to be alive, and I feel like I was almost given a second life, a second chance. So I I'm happy that I'm here and I'm able to still continue with my career, with my activism and everything.
As someone who has witnessed the changes in Afghanistan firsthand, what message do you want to convey to the world about the situation there?
I want the world to, first of all, I feel like the world has almost forgotten about Afghanistan, especially Afghan women who are really, really suffering right now. I mean, can you imagine women not allowed to study, to work, not to even go to a park? That's like completely inhumane. And I see the
Right.
world keep on talking about humanity. They keep talking about, you know, uh, changing societies and helping, but I see nothing happening with Afghanistan right now. And we're almost in the fourth year now, and it's not acceptable. So I hope that they hear Afghan women. I hope that uh, they try to put pressure on Taliban. They get them to change their rules and regulations and let women be free and be able to study and work and continue a normal life. And I hope that they will not forget them.